Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. We're going to shake things up a little differently today. Okay, so first off, what you're looking at is the picture of the new toy. It's a new Kong toy that we bought Finn. A PayPal donation was made, and the person specifically said that they weren't crazy about the new toys that were given to Finn because they weren't Kong and would I go buy one. So there it is. And I've named him Barney. We're going to start off today talking about Edward. We're going to switch it backwards. So instead of doing Harry and Meghan first and then going on to the royals, we're doing it in opposite. And it's also kind of a mishmash. So let's just jump in and get there because a lot is going on as usual. So let's go. We're going to start off this morning with pictures of two Paddington books that one of my followers bought at a charity fair in France. One was published in 1986 and the other was the 50th anniversary, and it was published in 1988. Love it. So the Earl of Wessex, Edward, went to Birmingham and tried out some sport, namely archery. So what's going on is there was an award scheme that partnered with Gen 22 to provide employable boosting opportunities to young people across the West Midlands. I love stuff like that. Here's a video of him in action. Watch this. Then Edward went to Toy, Kenning and Spencer in Birmingham's historic jewelry quarter. And there, where Edward, by the way, is the vice patron, he helped to put some finishing touches on the Commonwealth Game medals. Quite frankly, these are the kinds of visits that I like to see him on, and I think he's really good at. You know what I mean? I've said it before, he's so personable. He doesn't mind getting his hands dirty. He doesn't mind getting in there and doing his bit. I'm glad that he's stepping up to the plate. I really am. Next thing that happened, he went to the Birmingham Uniform and Accreditation Center to pick up his accreditations and to see how they're registering everybody else to get their accreditations. I think it's going to be the Commonwealth Games are coming along nicely. I think it's going to be fabulous. And I think, once again, Edward really enjoyed himself on this trip. You can just see he's excited for it. All right, moving on. All right, next up today, we're also going to touch on Camilla. She was in British Vogue. She looked phenomenal. I love the outfits. I love the background. She always knows how to do it right. What can I say? She looks great. This was done in advance of her 75th birthday. And the pictures were taken by Jamie Hawksworth at Clarence House, where she lives with Charles. There you go. I think she's gone from being the most hated woman in Britain to moving her way up. All right, guys, now we're going to switch on over to our dastardly duo. Apparently, Harry and Meghan think that they're going to be invited to Balmoral this year. You know, they have been invited in the past and they've never gone. They've turned it down every time. This time, if they get an invitation, it's being said they're going to go so that they can hope to get those photos of the royals with their children. This is going to sound terrible, but I'm actually hoping that the Queen decides not to go to Balmoral this year. I just don't think the family would be comfortable having them around with everything that they do. Interesting that they want an invite this year. Let's take a look at the past. They were invited in 2019, but turned it down because, in their own words, Archie was just too young to go. However, that didn't stop them from taking vacations to Nice and Ibiza on private jets. They were invited in 2020 and turned down the invitation again. Harry was apparently very upset, but Meghan was like, yeah, I don't care if we go at all. They were invited in 2021 and they said no, they didn't go. And the Queen was very upset. You know, it's very obvious they were snubbing her left and right. But now they want an invitation. I hope the royal family doesn't give it. Kind of makes you wonder if William and Charles are going to step in and ask the Queen not to invite them because they don't want taping and photos. All right, next up, this is exactly why the royals don't want to be in their photos. We all know that when Harry and Meghan were at the Trooping of the Color and they were in that office, they specifically went to the window so Meghan could be seen at the window and get herself photographed. Now remember, these are public photographs taken by public photographers, so everybody's like, oh, I would sue. You can't sue. These were photos that were taken by, regular photographers standing around. But I don't think what anybody considered was that Meghan was going to use them on Meghan's mirror. Now, she can scream all she wants that she's got nothing to do with Meghan's mirror. We all know she does because pictures show up on Meghan's mirror 5 minutes after Meghan's seen. So there's no way, unless she's passing to them what she's wearing, there's no way that Meghan's mirror just came up with this stuff. So the fact that she used the Tyndall's children to try to merch clothing hopefully is enough for the family to say, no, they're not being invited to the next family get-together. All right, moving on. All right, this next story basically came out and was like, Netflix wants Harry and Meghan to explain why they were booed. This is just a clickbait article. I think we all know why they were booed. Moving on. All right, moving on. Eugenie is apparently going to take over Nottingham Cottage. We know it's a very small little 2-bedroom cottage where Harry lived for years when he was single. Of course, as soon as he married Meghan, they immediately had to move out of there. And that's when Meghan wanted to move into Frogmore House. And instead they were sent to Frogmore Cottage. But that apparently, since Eugenie and Jack are going to be only half in the UK and the rest of the time they're going to be in Portugal, it only makes sense that they have Nottingham cottage. It doesn't need any refurbishment. They have a bedroom for them, a bedroom for the baby. What more do they need? It's on palace property. I don't believe they have to pay rent for it. At least I'm not that I'm aware of. So I think it's the perfect solution for them. Well, that's my thoughts. All right, I just wanted to touch on this. This was on Twitter. It's about the Diana Award. And they pointed out that Black students are 3 times as likely as the white students to be permanently excluded. And that's why they're reimagining support for young people from racialized communities. Please make a donation. And the picture that they chose to use was of Harry with white students. Duh. All right, moving on. And in that vein, they're saying people are upset with William and Catherine for moving into that Adelaide, I think it's called, cottage. You have 3 furnished homes. Okay, let me point something out. Number 1, this house was already there. It didn't cost the taxpayers anything. Number 2, it's not being refurbished. It's not costing the taxpayers anything. Number 3, their staff aren't living with them. It's the same staff they've always had. That's not costing the taxpayers anymore. So these are the kind of stories meant to turn the attention against, or to turn the people against William and Catherine. They're moving there so that all their children can go to school together at the same school. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. This is just one of those crap articles. All right, moving on. All right, next story really makes a lot of sense to me. Apparently, Harry and Meghan really expected Charles and William to ask them to return once the Queen passes away because their monarchy is going to be slimmed down and they're going to need them. They think. I also feel like, and I've told you before, the money is starting to run out. I think that Spotify and Netflix are literally getting ready to cancel their contracts and just walk away. So they have no money coming in, but they have money going out hand over fist. They need the royal family. They need the connection. And I think they were shocked that they were snubbed. I think that was Meghan's thing. I think, Harry, you're Charles's son. They're going to need you. Don't worry. They're going to bring you back. Yeah, it didn't work out that way. All right, next up, I found this to be shocking and yet not because it shows how fake news goes. Evan Einstein posted that the Instagram account, which posted all about Meghan Markle's voicemail for the Hub Kitchen, on the anniversary of the fire, come to find out it was a fake fan account. They had to change their name and they had to delete the post. So it would appear that the whole thing about Meghan leaving them a wonderful voicemail on the anniversary of the fire was fake. Apparently she didn't do anything. I also found this on Twitter, which I found very interesting because it's absolutely true. Meghan and her followers tell everybody that it's her cookbook. It's all her, when actually that's not true. The cookbook was sponsored by the Royal Foundation, which was Harry, Meghan, Kate, and William's cookbook for the Grenfell Tower survivors. The recipes came from the Grenfell Tower people. None of them were anybody's personal recipes. All Meghan did was, put a little forward in the front of the book, and then she went around telling everybody it was her cookbook. It wasn't. All right, moving on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so Harry went home and they went into the semifinal in Santa Barbara, and they lost. Once again, back grid, which is the paparazzi for hire, were the ones that were there taking the photos. Meghan was posing in a lot of the photos again. She had her hand up. She's showing you all of her jewelry. Same old crap that she always does. Here's what I've noticed in all these photos. Meghan is standing completely alone. Nobody's talking to her. Look in this photo on the left in the hat. That's Nacho's wife. She's keeping her distance from Meghan. Except in this very staged photo, grown women, married women with children, don't go to watch their husbands play polo and hug on each other. Okay? That's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Staged. So Harry's playing. Harry lost, and then the whole group starts tromping over to where they are. And I've noticed that Nacho's wife is in the lead. She doesn't even look to be talking to Meghan. Meghan looks extremely pissed off here. She's being ignored. She has to comfort Harry because he lost, like he's a 2-year-old. But look at these photos now. This is Meghan getting very animated and hugging Nacho. It's Nacho's wife who put up that Instagram post, with them at the barbecue, and then quickly took it down, and then put up the pictures of the horses and said, here are the real winners. And you have to wonder if she's throwing shade at Meghan. Okay, so anyway, there she is hugging him. He's, trying to hug her back. You have to wonder if she was jealous by this photo. Because yes, that is Nacho's wife hugging Harry. And look how happy Harry is in this photo. And by the way, this was the one time that Meghan didn't come to Polo. Amazing. Meghan's getting a little payback maybe. I mean, look at Harry. This is the first sincere smile that I've seen on his face since he left the royal family, and Meghan's nowhere to be seen. Fabulous. Compare that to this, where she's in front of Harry talking at him. Look at Harry's face. Ugh. I'm telling you guys, when I look at this photo, look at his face, I think he's sitting there thinking, what happened to my life? This is unrecognizable. My family's not talking to me. I hardly have any friends. Nobody wants to be around her. What am I doing? You know he's sitting there, and that's just running through his head. And to top it all off, the claw has reappeared. Oh my goodness. All right, I want to touch on this now. I have been in touch with Meghan's mole. She contacted me and let me know that her account was permanently suspended. As far as I know, and I could be wrong, but as far as I know, she's never had a warning. She's never been in Twitter jail. Same thing that happened to Murky Meg. So this is the story as I understand it. She saw a link to an article by Ellie Hall. We all know who that is. I don't even click on her stuff anymore. It's just not even worth the effort. She and Boozy and Jack Royston, they're all part of the Sussex squad, in my opinion. Anyway, she clicked on the link to read the article, and when she went to go back, she was suspended from Twitter. I think she was attacked by bots. It's the same thing that happened to my YouTube account. You don't have a Twitter account, click on a suspicious link, and then suddenly you're gone. So everybody take a chill pill. She's written to Twitter. We'll see what happens. If she's not on Twitter anymore, God knows it's not the end of the world. Most people now are moving over to Instagram. They're moving over to Getter. They're moving over to Rumble. They're getting off of Twitter anyway because of this stuff. All right, I'm putting this up from Indy, which proves my point. She made the comment that she subscribed to a number of YouTubers. She's never had an issue. And then up until today, and then all of a sudden, boom, she was unsubscribed. So this is why I always tell you guys to double check and make sure if you've hit the button that you're still subscribed. For whatever reason, YouTube unsubscribes people from their favorite channels. I don't know why. And make sure you hit the button for all notifications so that you'll be notified whenever something is uploaded. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so put those comments down because you know I want them. Now, after what happened to Megan's mole, I'm pointing out to you again that if something should happen to my account, you can follow me on Getter, Rumble, and YouTube. So go ahead and click on those so if something should happen, because I said that before on one of my YouTube things. I wasn't going anywhere, and a few days later, poop, I was gone. All right. Don't forget to leave those comments. Don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. To those of you who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much, you guys. And as always, have a great day.